This is the video about rapid activation of Fiori with new installation of S/4HANA 1909 initial shipment. My name is Mahesh Sardesa and I'll be going through the steps in my blog. The procedure is similar to other releases of S/4HANA. So this is the note for rapid activation of Fiori in S/4HANA 1909. Open the link in a new window. The blog is based on version 12 of the note. You can click on Show Changes to see if anything has changed. The note shows how to use task lists, post-activation steps, and how to test the results. There's a list of roles which require pre-steps, which are shown here. Now let's take a look at the steps. There are three sets of steps in sections A, B, and C. You can run all tasks in sequence 1 to 10, but task number 2 you can kick off and proceed to the next step. The color coding here is task lists shown in blue are subquery transactions, light blue are to be executed in web browser, and yellow are the task list to be run in subquery in transaction STC01. The first step is to check Fiori UI components. Log into the instance, enter transaction spam, click on the tab to install products versions, ensure that the three components are there with the releases before you start. Next step is to use the SCHAN transaction to complete SCHAN. Since I've already done this, I will confirm by checking the job for SCHAN. Go to transaction SM37 and check that the job completed successfully. Ensure that system is configured for SSL and the memory parameters are configured correctly. Enter transaction RZ10 and change the profile if needed. Here I have added the parameters to the instance profile. Now we are at step 2, activate enterprise search. This can be done by executing task list as shown. You have to set the parameters. T-Rex destination is HANA primary DB connection and software component has to be set to SAP APPLH. Confirm the manual step. Then you can run the task list in background. The task list can be refreshed automatically to check the status. You can leave it running and go to the next step. Here I have set that interval for 60 seconds to refresh the task list. Then we take a look at step 3. Apply note 2798873. Go to transaction code S note and download the note. You have the manual steps to delete the record in one table. Delete the record and save. You have to provide the transport number. Then you apply the note for Fiori setup content activation for business rules. Then let us go to step number 4. Enter T-code SU25. Confirm you have read the note for 40231 as prompted. Double-click on option to initially fill customer tables. If you get 0 entries for processes applications, you have to execute this again. When you double-click the option second time, you will get the log entries as shown. Then we go to step 5 to activate embedded analytics. First, we execute the prerequisites. In SCC4 transaction check, logical system is entered. Go through the steps in the note 2289865 as these may have changed. Check the RS admin table for the value BW mandate if it is filled. In SE16, we open the table and check the value of the field. Since it is not filled, we have to execute the function module. After that, we have to execute the task list BW setup initial as for HANA. Click execute. Set the parameters. The first parameter is to confirm that you have read the note which has a resolution to some of the errors. Then you set the BW client number. Go back. Then you set the parameter for trigger force initialization. Then you execute the task list in background. After the task is executed, you can do the remaining steps in the node. Configuration of hierarchies for time characteristics. You can activate the services using transaction SICF. Select the service, right click and take option Activate Service. When prompted, select Activate All. There are two services to be activated. After that, we are at step 6 to execute the task list to activate Gateway and Fiori 1 client. Execute the task list in background. It takes less than a minute to complete. The next step 7 is to run Fiori Foundation task list. It is better to execute the task list in foreground. If you get an error as shown for Fiori FLP has no destination, you can uncheck the task and execute the task list for the remaining tasks. Then you have to enable analysis path framework by adding missing authorizations. Enter transaction code PFCG, select role ZUI2 user role, click on change, go to authorization tab and click on change authorization data. Click on manually and add the authorization object /UI2/LREP. Expand the object and edit /UIF/role. Click on edit and select the checkmark for APF user. Click on save. Generate and go back. You have to do the same for UI2 admin role. Select the role, click on change, go to authorization tab and click on change authorization data. Click on manually and add authorization object /UI2/LREP. Expand the object and edit /UIF/role. Select checkmark for APF admin and save. Next step, number 8, is for validation. We have to add the roles to a test user. Save the user and compare user master record. Some additional roles are added automatically. Log in using Fiori UI and ensure you get the screen as shown. You can select the option App Finder and you get the Fiori app for UI2 Fiori Launchpad Administrator as shown. Then we come to section 9 to prepare a list of business roles. Here please note that the steps shown are for fully activated sandbox environment where all roles and apps are activated. In your project environment, you will select which business roles are relevant for your scope items and only activate those roles. So here we go to the Fiori app library. Select the Fiori apps for S/4HANA. Select the backend product S/4HANA. Select S/4HANA all roles. Click on aggregate. The release is S/4HANA 1909 FPS 0. Click on the icon to download list of business roles. The download contains individual roles shown here, and apps will be activated based on the roles. In your project environment, you will be activating the roles from this spreadsheet. To activate all roles, I have provided a list of roles. The list is split into 3 tabs. The first tab contains roles that can be activated without any issue. This list is split into 2 files. So you have files 1 and 2 containing approximately 100 roles each. The second tab contains a list of roles that require pre-steps. There is a third tab with S/4HANA roles that are not in Fiori app library and can be activated altogether. The roles in the third tab, Fiori apps, get activated very quickly. The next step is to activate Fiori content. For some of the roles, we require some pre-steps to be done. If you want to activate the role for Project Finance Controller, you should do these steps. Execute the ABAP program with values as shown. You will get the result as shown on the screen. Now download the 4 text files containing the roles. Select the first list and double-click to open the file. Select the first step of the task list and paste the list to define the business roles. You can execute the task list in background. You can click on Auto and set the value to refresh the task list automatically. Go back and select the second file to open the file. You can run the second task list in parallel if you set the memory parameter as shown on the tip on time saving techniques. So here we run the second task list in second session. Checkmark the first step of the task list and add the role for the second file. Execute the task list in background. The task list will take 2.5 hours to run. You can execute the third and the fourth list containing the roles which are not from Fiori app library. The third and the fourth list should finish quickly in less than 10 minutes. This is the tip number 5, which states that if the task list has errors first time, please rerun the task list with same roles again. Tip number 6 is regarding setting memory parameters. You can clear the shared memory in transaction SHMM. For more details about rapid activation of Fiori, please go through the 4 blogs shown in other references here.